Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Church with a Two-Drink Minimum.
Alright, everybody ready? We're going to sing. Hey, Glen, I'll tell you. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to the church with Two-Drink Minimum. Welcome to the church with Two-Drink Minimum.
We are interfaith,
Interspiritual, God optional. So relax and get ready for a celebration. Welcome to the church with a two-drink minimum.
one more time now.
Welcome to the church with a two-drink minimum.
Everybody, come up with an A-Human. A-Human.
Doggy!
But anyway, happy Sunday!
Truly.
Arizona, your dress looks gorgeous.
It does.
Arizona
It does.
got a new dress.
Everybody got their spring out. Everybody got their spring outfit on.
Yeah.
We're wearing black and gold today.
Yeah. Well, actually, so I had leopard print on because Glen was talking about jungle animals today. He was reading about jungle
Lions and
animals.
leopards and
And we were having fun. Oh, thank you, son. I appreciate it. Wow. So Connie and Ellen are here. Francine is here. I think I saw Ann in the room. Oh, wow. I'm so glad y'all joined us. And for everybody that's on the radio, happy Sunday.
I know. What colors are what colors are you wearing today?
It's such a beautiful day.
I know. We got green. We got gold. Bronze. You know, copper.
That's beautiful, son. I
Yes,
actually
it's
meant
beautiful
to tell
stuff
you
here.
that earlier.
Uh-huh.
Wow. So, what a great day already. Thank you, Reverend Billy, for
yeah.
this morning's homily. Wasn't that great?
Very fun. Very fun.
Oh, my God. It's been a great day. We didn't get to hang out with you all afternoon, but I've been cooking, and we've been eating, and we had some stuff we had to do. We had a nice vegetarian casserole and some ham, and, you know, for him. And it was just, it was glorious. We had a lovely Sunday dinner. So we've been doing
Piles and
all
piles,
that.
still full. Cornbread, piles and piles of food. Lots of food. Homemade bread.
Veggie casserole. Yeah, it was really yummy. I make a cashew cream. This is my little cooking corner for a second. But I make a cream out of cashews, and it's so creamy and stuff, and you can season it however you want.
Yeah, we do savory and sweet versions of that. It's almost like icing.
It is. It can be very, very much like icing or heavy cream or something like that. So it's really yummy.
Use it on brownies a lot.
So how's your Sunday going?
No.
It's really fun. And you know what, Son? I really appreciate the covers you were doing right before we came in. Because I've been singing a few covers lately, one I'm going to share now as the sing-along. But I also have a surprise cover for you toward the end of the program today. So yeah, it was so interesting to sit in the room and have you play, well, I thought it was Toto, and Glen kept saying it was Weezer, and I was like, no, it's Toto. They did like a really good cover. And then that one of Purple Rain, wow, that was from The Voice. That woman was amazing. So we're going to sing and have fun and share some A Course in Miracles. Hey, Kathy, we're glad you're here. All right.
You know this one.
I know you know this one. A 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello world, there's a song that we're singing. Come on, get happy. A whole lot of loving is what we'll be bringing. Come on, you happy. We had a dream, we go traveling together. Spread a little loving and we keep moving on. Something always happens whenever we're together. We get a happy feeling when we're singing a song. So come along with the song that we're singing. Come on, get happy. A whole lot of loving is what we'll be bringing. We'll make you happy. We'll make you happy. We'll make you happy. I know. And if you aren't happy now, go skip around the room. Just, you just go skip around the room if you aren't happy right now.
Well, it looks like Connie's in her car, so she's traveling along.
She's definitely feeling skippy.
And a song. She's singing a song and traveling along. That's awesome. We're so glad you joined us from the car. We like to do that every now and then.
We do.
When we're up in Vermont, we like to broadcast from the car.
Yeah, because that's what the internets are.
Yeah. Up by town hall. Wow.
Yay.
Well, that was fun. I'm enjoying myself already. We've got lessons for you. We're in a review on A Course in Miracles.
Yeah.
You want to do those now, shall we? Okay.
Well,
no, we need to do the
we need to do the workbook
first.
lessons.
Okay, let's do the workbook instructions.
Do the workbook lessons? Okay.
Yeah, the workbook instructions. Okay. Arizona says she's skipping rope.
They're skipping rope. There you go. Skip rope in the kitchen. I was the best rope skipper on my block.
Really?
I really was. I could double dutch. I could do all that stuff. I love skipping rope and doing all that rope
Really?
and
You
stuff
could
like
do
that.
that?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. I was like the block king.
Wow.
I got to hang out with all the cool girls.
That's awesome.
All the cool girls knew how to do all the rope tricks, and I
Cheers.
learned all the stuff from all the cool girls on the block, so I can like jump rope.
Here's to skipping rope.
I know,
Yay.
yeah. I forgot all about that. Thank you, Arizona. That's a lovely memory for me.
That's totally cute. I had no idea you could do that.
It never comes up. It literally never comes up. How well can you jump rope?
Yeah.
That's not usually a conversation we've ever had. Strangely enough, you can be with somebody for 15 years and your jump rope skills will not come up.
Well,
it's kind of amazing.
Oh my goodness. Oh, funny. Okay, she's trying to show us something over here. Anyway, so
Are you keeping up with the lessons?
Yeah, they're really exciting right now.
We're in a huge review. We're going to be in a review for like a couple more days.
We are.
And then we bust out at like 90 days? Or what's the...
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, 90 days. 90 days we bust out.
Less than 90?
Less than 91.
Okay. Well, today... But before we read the lessons, let's do the workbook instructions.
Because there's good life learning instructions in the course, in the workbook instructions, and
we put it to a beat and we can dance to it. So we want to share it with you.
This is very true. Let me see if I can get this going here. The overall aim of the exercises is to increase your ability to extend the ideas you will be practicing to include everything. This will require no effort on your part. The exercises themselves meet the conditions necessary for this kind of transfer, right? Transfer. Some of the ideas the workbook presents you will find hard to believe, and others may seem to be quite startling. This does not matter. You are merely asked to apply the ideas as you are directed to do. You are not asked to judge them at all. You are asked only to use them. It is their use that will give them meaning to you and will show you that they are true. Remember only this: you need not believe the ideas. You need not accept them. You need not even welcome them. And some of them you may actively resist. None of this will matter or decrease their efficacy. Do not allow yourself to make exceptions in applying the ideas the workbook contains, and whatever your reaction to the ideas may be, use them. Nothing more than that is required.
Use them.
Nothing more than that is required.
Use them.
Nothing more than that is required.
So what do you think she wants you to do? Use them.
The ideas.
Use the ideas. Yes, and that's kind of what Billy was too, wasn't he?
This morning, yeah.
You know, do the lessons. There's the reason, the promises that that are involved.
I know.
That's
There's
true.
really, really, really great lessons right now, and so let's read them. Well, so it's a review.
So we're going to look at 2 lessons.
And today is 86, and it says these ideas are for review today. And the first one is from lesson 71. Only God's plan for salvation will work.
If you want it to work. Now, if you just want to spin your wheels and get upset and have it go all wrong and eat worms, then this isn't the thing for you. You know, only God's plan for salvation will work.
And I love what she says. It's senseless for me to search wildly about for salvation.
Okay, so the image is searching wildly about. Does that sound like some of our lives at times? Like searching wildly about for something that's going to satisfy us, right?
Wow.
Yeah. God's plan for salvation will save me from my perception
of this.
See?
Yeah.
There is no exception in God's plan for my salvation, right?
Right.
Let me perceive this only in the light of God's plan for salvation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perspective is everything, isn't it? So 72.
And this lesson, wow.
It's always poignant.
It's always poignant every time I read it, every time I contemplate it. It's lesson number 72. Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation.
Yeah, and you're perfectly willing to resist this.
Yeah. And the first line again, holding grievances is an attempt to prove that God's plan for salvation will not work. It's an attempt, but it does work. And specific applications for this idea today
include
I am choosing between misperception and salvation as I look on this. Absolutely. I am choosing between misperception and salvation as I look on this. If I see grounds for grievances in this, I will not see the grounds for my salvation. Yeah. This calls for salvation, not attack.
Turns out, this calls for salvation.
Not attack.
Salvation. And that's a group project, isn't it? Salvation's a group project. It's an individual choice.
It's a choice, yeah.
To be a part of, to be together with, to be whole, to be complete. To be in relationship with what is, to join what reality and become a cooperative component with it. So we don't have to make up the plan, make sure everything's working, and monitor it all so it goes right. That's
right.
A recipe for suffering. We don't have to do it. It already, God's plan for salvation already works. We don't have to invent it and maintain it. All we have to do, and that's the tall order, that's the instructions, isn't it? Work with what comes up. All we need to do is value who we are over who we believe we are.
And who we believe others are and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's how we find out about it.
And I always appreciate your pointing out, the community building aspect of these lessons, because I can the last thing she said was this calls for salvation, not attack.
An attack implies there's something else wrong there that has to be corrected or corralled back into something.
Right. So these lessons work individually and of course communally, and as we build our community together, it becomes more and more evident,
If the principle works, it works on the micro and the macro.
Yeah.
It's true.
So let's go into our meditation. And today I'm just feeling so joyful and grateful. So there may not be many words, but that's okay. We're just gonna ring the bell and breathe, be present, and stay in the silence for just a second. So let's do that. With great joy, we affirm today that we are co-creating this wonderful circle of unconditional love. And this unconditional love is exactly what we are made of. So it bubbles out of us, we can't help it, and it moves into our surrounding atmospheres, our apartments, our homes, our cities, our streets, our states, our country, and our world. And in this circle of love, we accept all that we like and all that we do not like. And we are grateful. Let's have a moment of silence. Blessed be, and so it is.
God has condemned me now. God has condemned me now. God has condemned me now. No more do I. No more do I. I was mistaken. I did not realize the source from which I came. My holiness remains. My holiness remains. All the mistakes I've made are simply illusions. I let them go today and receive God's word. I trust in God's word. Love which created me is what I am. I seek no more today. Love has prevailed. God has condemned me not. God has condemned me not. God has condemned me not. No more do I. No more do I. No more do I.
Yay!
Oh, that calms me every time I hear that song. And you know, Glen was pointing out that it's a waltz, so it's like a ching 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 ching.
We're waltzing. We're chair
We're
waltzing.
chair waltzing while we're here. And that was so soothing to me. There's something about a waltz that's really soothing.
I know. I love it. It's one of our favorite things to do. Actually.
I know. Well, and so I want to thank Reverend Billy again for his musical choices this morning, because when he played "Oh, oh, my love, my darling." Oh God, I love that song. And that cover, of course, was so incredible. And Glen came over and asked me to dance. It was so sweet.
I know. So we did slow
so
dances
sweet.
this morning in our pajamas while she.
It was so sweet. So I just wanted to thank y'all, you know, for your appreciation of lovely music, because it means the world to me, obviously, you know.
Because we're musical people.
Yeah, we are.
There's almost always something playing around here.
There is. So. Where are we in the text today?
Well, I want to remind people that you can read A Course in Miracles every year if you read 12.8 pages a week. I just want to make sure.
I think everybody knows that by now.
We know that by now. And did you know that the lessons track with the text?
I think we know
so
that
if you're reading
too,
the book
yes.
and doing the lessons, they kind of help. They kind of support each other.
Yeah. Oh, look, Jacqueline's here. Hey, Reverend Jacqueline.
Yay! So, we're on chapter 8 already.
Wow.
I know.
How about that?
We're on chapter 8. We're about to complete the first 90 days.
Ooh.
So in the first 90 days of A Course in Miracles, we get through the 50 major lessons into reviews. And we're on the second review right now. And we get up to what I call chapter 8. Yeah, chapter 8 is what I call the curriculum, where the course lays out kind of where you want to go, and the attitudes that you might need to have if you're going to absorb the material. It's like, you know, the basics of the curriculum. Okay, this is how we're going to learn. It's not a syllabus, it's the curriculum. So this is like the whole 9 yards. This is how you get where you want to go. And she talks about experience. What we're doing is we are looking for the experience of who we are. And that is whole, complete, and true. What's the lyrics to the songs that you just sang?
Oh, God has condemned me not?
Uh-huh.
God has condemned me not. I was mistaken. I did not realize the source from which I came.
Right. So,
Yeah.
right, how do we live, make decisions to have the experience of being the access to that source, of the product of that source?
Yeah, the source living through through us.
Right, what we call around here the flow.
Yeah,
right?
I like the flow.
The flow. One of the cultural ideas we have in Western is like the magic box.
Oh.
Right. There's the idea of a magic box. We have Jack in a Box.
Oh.
Right. Ding, 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 and then the thing pops
out.
out. We have a Rubik's Cube.
That's true.
And we have a box from Dune. Right. The
God.
puzzle box.
If you're a science,
the puzzle box from Dune.
you're a
then you
science
have
fiction fan.
Pandora's box.
Yeah, there's Pandora's
Right,
box.
and you have a treasure chest, right, and you have a jewelry drawer.
I do. I have several of those.
What are the odds? So the idea. So we're going to talk about. I'm going at it like this because this chapter, this section is called "The Treasure of God," and so the image I would like you to put in your head, or the image the concept in the West that she's addressing is the idea of treasure. Is the idea of what is truly valuable, supposedly valuable to everyone. Right, something that is exchangeable, has continued value, something that doesn't lose its value, a treasure. Right, something that you could bury and come back to later, and it would still be, good
Treasure.
or whatever. It would still be valuable. So that would be her way of talking about a treasure. Is talking about things that will remain valuable forever. And it's like, so what about us meets that criteria? What would be the treasure of God? If God has everything, what would be valuable to God?
Oh, interesting. Huh.
The treasure of God is the name of this chapter. And this is on the journey back, talking about the curriculum of A Course in Miracles. And with that idea, with this shining puzzle box in your head, this treasure of God, this box of light, with that idea, read the first paragraph.
Okay.
It's really short, don't worry.
Okay. We are the joint will of the sonship, whose wholeness is for all.
See, this is really almost like a declaration of independence, right? So read
that's
this
interesting.
as if it's like on a plaque at the cornerstone of a building.
Well, that's what I was just thinking when I just read it right now. That's so interesting. And also,
This whole paragraph is this way.
that's so cool. I also want to point out again your propensity for helping us realize that she's talking about community building in so much of this. So this particularly right here really speaks to that.
Oh, absolutely. We are whole. We are we include everything that exists. So why that is community. That is the wholeness. What I'm beginning to be called togetherness.
Yeah. So we are the joint will of the sonship, whose wholeness is for all. We begin the journey back by setting out together and gather in our brothers as we continue together. Wow. Every gain in our strength is offered for all, so they too can lay aside their weakness and add their strength to us.
Where do you put your gain?
All in everybody. With strength for all.
Where is your strength?
In all. In all of our brothers and sisters and others. Every gain in our strength is offered for all, so they too can lay aside their weakness and add their strength to us. God's welcome waits for us all, and he will welcome us as I am welcoming you. Forget not the kingdom of God for anything the world has to offer.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I think
welcome
that deserves a
to
toast.
the church with a 2-drink minimum. Why welcome you? Like
I know,
like
welcome.
I was welcome.
And forget not the kingdom of God for anything the world has to offer.
Okay, so this is the treasure as the joint will of the sonship, because only the joint will of the sonship can create like God, right? The whole creates as the whole, and that's the only way creation happens. The expanding what exists, expanding what is true. So this wholeness is inclusive. Do you see that? The joint will of the sonship. It's what we want.
Yeah.
I want what we want.
Yeah.
And she goes, this is a journey back because this is remembering, because this stuff is so already deep in you. This is this is the stuff that's in your heart. So this is a journey back. This is remembering. You already got this. You already are this. You already have these skills. We've just covered them over. Right. So the gain is strength. This gain and this strength supports our wholeness, supports our togetherness. So
we can lay aside our weakness. We can always lay aside our weakness when we allow our will to be joined with the wholeness. I'm not weak anymore.
Right.
I can lay my weakness aside because we're doing it. I can rely on you for things that I'm not good at, and you can rely on me for things that I'm good at. Yeah. So, and she offers this in this very first paragraph, how welcome and natural this very present moment is. Welcome to this moment. Welcome here
to this moment. We are with you now.
and she says that, to be truthful, this is the only thing that this will satisfy you. This kingdom, this now, this here is the only thing that's really satisfying. So come on the journey. Come on. She says, come on to the journey with us. Come on, y'all. There's a song that we're singing.
Exactly. I was just going to like, what? That was perfect for to open.
It was. I know. It's eerie. It's eerie, isn't it? So read what I got us in. Let's see if we've got anybody.
Yeah, let's see if we got
I know, because I have a tendency. Greetings and greetings. Right now, we love all this.
Loving and greetings.
Loves and greetings. So read this. Read this next bit. You can include the underlined portions as well.
You cannot behold the world and know God. Only one is true. He has saved you for yourself. Da, 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 da. No one created by God can find joy in anything except the eternal. Not because he is deprived of anything else, but because nothing else is worthy of him.
Wow.
What God and his sons create is eternal. And in this... and this only is their joy. And again, you know, she's been talking for a few weeks now about the difference between creation and making, creating and making,
or expanding and expanding is creation.
Yeah,
expanding versus projection, and making versus creating.
Right. Yeah. So creating is
right.
Well, creating is expanding.
Yeah.
Making is projecting.
Yes,
that's what she's been talking about.
Yeah, it's what we say all the time. He goes, nothing real
can be threatened.
Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. Yeah. That's the again that formula again. So our will is choosing what is true and choosing what is real. That's our job. Like, accept what's your function. Accept the atonement for yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's real. Because everything else is on top of that. Right? So choosing what is real over choosing what is not real, which would mean just things that are passing through. Right. This is the material world. There's nothing wrong or right with what is material. It's just not real because it changes. It decays and goes up, rising form, and there's nothing wrong with it. So she asks us to remember that we are choosing a world that when we choose the world, we become blind to our worth.
Yeah, that's important.
You know, when we choose to become an object, or say that objects have inherent meaning, like they can offer me happiness. You know, an ice cream cone must make me happy. You know,
it can
be an expression of happiness, but you know, so this is when we choose the world, it's actually, she says in the course, the choice to not exist. If we believe that we're bodies, we're instructed that we're bodies, we're only bodies, we have a beginning and a middle and an end, we have a birth, a life, and a death. That is, according to the Course of Miracles, the cosmology in the Course of Miracles, is the choice to not exist, a request to not exist.
It doesn't work.
It actually, it doesn't work.
We do exist.
Yeah, so that's suffering. And the fallacy is we think objects have will. We think material world has power over us, and it does not. The truth is that we were created by God. We are what works. Our hearts beat and our lungs do. We are connected to everything. We're not part of nature. We are nature, right? Like everything else is. So we were created we were created true by what is true to expand what is true. We are what works. So that's the truth. It saves this truth, this understanding, this way of approaching the world, you know, as me, as not an object. But she offers this will save you from the illusion of yourself. which is your own suffering. And it cures our death wish. It cures the very seductive death wish to be a beautiful object, or a scary object, or to be a frightening object. Because we often think the goal in life is to be seen as, or to be recognized as important, or scary, or beautiful, or whatever it is. And that's what Regina calls the fourth principle. So she asks you in the second paragraph to take on this idea of choosing your worth, about what's worthy of your time and attention. What rises to the level of getting your attention, of being worthy of your thought and your time and your attention and your talent. Is this what you're doing? Is this worthy of you?
Interesting.
The counter to that is joining, right? It is worth it to choose what is real, to choose to join.
Right.
Okay, that would be that would be a worthy, to see the world and creation in our places as a worthy step in, to a presentation of where to connect with. Something that wouldn't be worthy would be, I'm going to get as much as I can. Right. I'm going to be I'm going to get the top. I'm going to get to the top no matter what no matter what it takes.
Yeah.
So to create with the sonship is how the Course of Miracles defines joy. And God and it's God's joy. It's our joy. Collective creation. This creating as the sonship, this creating as the wholeness, as the completeness is what is joy. Creating, expanding what is our joy. And doing that with the wholeness and the completeness is great. That we were talking about in the classes Wednesday. A friend of ours who's a singer-songwriter and a performer was talking about how when she sings and the band is going really well, they're just one instrument. It's just one thing happening there.
Right.
She's not the singer, and they're not the bass player. They're creating one thing. It's all one thing.
Exactly.
When you're in the flow and everybody's doing it, it's one experience. You aren't looking at a singer, a bass player, a pianist, and you're looking at one thing. And the experience is one.
It is, and that's what you call a tight band,
right? And there's love and connection.
Yeah, I just want to mention that's Rosemary Lohr. Y'all know her because she was one of my guests on Sounds of Awakening, and her band is incredible.
She's been working with the same people for a long time.
Her band is great. She's having a show actually on April 19th. I'll let you know about that.
Yeah, if you like Rosemary Lohr,
Rosie, she's doing an online show that y'all
she has
can see.
a cabaret show coming up.
Yeah.
So this idea of oneness and participating with others and creating as one as our joy, and understanding that that's a definition of joy is actually something that kind of a concept that many of us really do have an understanding of, a direct experience of. Okay, so read this next bit.
I am, but let's go see if there's any comments in the room.
Nope, we're good.
No comments. Okay,
there we go.
We're just having fun.
Greetings.
Okay, so the next part, she says, listen to the story of the prodigal son.
Right. This to remind. Think about. She's going to move you to the next point, but she goes, it's the prodigal son. That's she's talking about a statement of worth and the way that you are worthy. Just a reminder of what the prodigal son says.
Right.
So read these next two sentences and part I've highlighted.
Okay. God wants only his son because his son is his only treasure. You see, that just answered the question.
Well, yeah.
God wants only his son because his son is his only treasure. What is God's treasure? His son is his only treasure.
So what is
his son? All of creation, all living beings, all
what is real.
What is real? Yeah.
What lives.
I didn't get that until right now. Isn't it funny? God wants only his son because his son is his only treasure. You want your creations as he wants his. Your creations love you as you love your Father for the gift of creation. There can be no question of its worth, because its value lies in God's sharing himself with it and establishing its value forever.
So what has value?
The sonship.
Right, because it's real. It was created by God. It comes in this succession of sharing and expansion. I've shared myself with you.
Right.
So, and she calls that the creation.
Right.
So what would our creations be?
That's what I was thinking about there. So our creation, from my standpoint, I'm thinking anything that comes through me from the place of love, from the place of oneness, with the intention of sharing that. So, when I create music and stuff, certainly these past few years, it has been all about that. The reason why I create the music that I do is to offer it to the sonship, is to offer that love and that connection that I feel and know to others in the sonship.
This creative collection that you're giving back to the kingdom.
Right.
So teaching the kingdom of, this was last week, right? Remember? Teaching the kingdom of the kingdom.
Right.
So this is treasure as extension, right? Treasure as our will.
Yeah.
Treasure as our intent. Okay?
Yes.
So creation as a gift to the wholeness is creation as a gift of togetherness. Creation as what and who we love.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's love, that's real, creating love and expanding the experience of the reality that you're loved, you're not alone and friendless, the reality of that. That's love. That's creation. Creation is what and who we love.
Right.
Creation as love is the extension, extending what you want. Creation is the extension of what you, or making, right? That's the negative concept of that. And creation is what is eternal. The treasure doesn't lose its value.
Right.
Right. The God, the sonship, the creation, God's value is his son because it doesn't lose value. It's actually, we're regenerative. We expand the love of God. That's who we are. And we don't need to maintain it. It's already, it's our nature. So that she gives us a temptation. The temptation is to believe that this is just too lofty. You're not really worthy.
Yeah.
It's just nice talk.
Yeah.
Not really. Oh, this dress. I didn't work that hard. It doesn't take. That kind of idea. No. I'm really not worthy of participating in the creation of the experience of the love of God in the world. And she says that's that's what we do. So read this a little bit.
Yeah, let's go check the
room.
Okay,
no,
good,
pretty
we're all
good.
there. I see. I want to go back and see Connie. Connie
she's back
is
in her car.
I love it. Okay.
So we're talking about the function, right?
Yeah. Your function is to add to God's treasure by creating yours, creating your treasure. Yeah. Your function is to add to God's treasure by creating yours. This is so interesting because there are many times throughout the course and the lessons and everything she tells you what your function is. And your function, she usually says it's some kind of some form of forgiveness. Like forgiveness is your function. You know what I mean? So here it's
your function is to accept the atonement for yourself.
Right. So
your function is creation.
Your function is creation.
To create.
So all of that is the same, like forgiveness, creation, like true creation.
The expansion of what is happens when you know it's expand. It's more than
It's just interesting to me because she uses different words as your function, and they're all intertwined. They're all the same thing.
Aspects of the jewel. If you want to get all Buddhist. about it.
Right. Okay. Cool. So your function is to add to God's treasure by creating yours. You cannot find joy except as God does.
Ooh, you cannot find joy except as God does?
Yeah.
So God's out here finding joy?
Yeah.
How?
God is joy. So, I mean.
Where would God find joy?
Within the sonship
as the
within,
express, yeah,
as the
as what
expression
is
of us.
as the creation, as what is real. Read this next bit.
No one who does not accept his function can understand what it is.
Sounds so simple, but
It's a puzzle. No one who does not accept his function can understand what it is. And no one can accept his function unless he knows what he is. Creation is the will of God. His will created you to create. Yay! Yet their thought is so powerful that they can even imprison the mind of God's Son if they so choose. This choice does make the Son's function unknown to him.
So again, we have a choice
Right.
about whether to participate in what is real or not. Right?
and we're so powerful that
you can actually choose
Yeah.
to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Our minds are so powerful that we can choose to sleep. And meaning we can decide and act like we're just objects.
Yeah.
We just have a material existence. And in the cosmology of A Course in Miracles, believing you're an object and just a body that are going through the motions, you'll get born, birth, life, death, rebirth. You're an object.
Song we did, you know.
So this is the idea of our treasure as the joy of creation. Just the expansion, just the movement of joy out, into the world or the expression of it in material form. His will to you is his will for you. Did you hear that? God's will to you is his will for you.
What does that mean to you? What do you mean by that?
Okay. I created... Well, think about like what a horse is. A horse was created as a horse to be a horse his whole entire life, and to have horse thoughts and to be a horse. I created you as a horse to be a horse. So that's just, So
Okay.
I created you as a living, breathing, connected a ball of love and acceptance, and this incredible sense, connected piece of the world,
Right.
As the sonship, to do that, to be
Created you to do that. Right. Okay. A horse is a horse, of course, and no one can talk to a horse, of course, unless, of course, the famous Mr.
I just do what she tells me. I just use the metaphor she tells me to use.
I can't help it. And
she told me to use the horse metaphor, so that's what I did. So our function is to know yourself, to know who you are, so that we can create and make decisions that are in line with God's will, which is us, which is our treasure, which is God's joy. I mean, you see this joy, this flowing, this movement of joy into the world by this idea of our treasure. This treasure that we are, and of course she reminds us that you are much more powerful than you think you are.
Right.
And so let's do this, and we're done.
Yeah, let's do the last
5 minutes. Okay.
Here. Okay. There is no question but one you should ever ask of yourself.
Ooh.
Here's the question.
One question.
One question. Do I want to know my Father's will for me?
Oh, that's good. Put that on the.
That's a good
Put
question.
that on a post-it on the bathroom. Do I know what my Father's will for me?
Do I want to know?
Do I want to know?
Do you even want to know? Our function is to work together, because apart from each other, we cannot function at all.
Say that sentence again.
Our function is to work together, awakening together, because
Our function is to work together?
Because apart from each other, we cannot function at all.
Apart from each other, we can't function at all?
That's what it says. The whole power of God's Son lies in all of us.
Where's all the power of God's Son?
In all of us, but not in any of us alone. God would not have made us be alone because he does not will to be alone. Through our creations, we extend our love and thus increase the joy of the Holy Trinity.
I know. So she's really nailed it. She's really coming to the closing strip here. The choice to be present, right? And the present asks, what's the will of God? What's the will of God in this? What's the voice of wholeness? What's the voice of togetherness? So my holy creations are the extension of love. We talked about what those were. What I love, what I care about, where I place my loving attention. What am I interested in increasing? increase the joy of what is whole and complete, and increase our togetherness, our isness, our our togetherness.
Yeah.
Our function is to work together. You know why? Because we're not alone and friendless.
Right.
You know, our function is to work together to remove the blocks to the awareness of love's presence. And power, she defines it as power lying in all being. It lies in the all being. It lies in the all being, not in the singular being, in the all being. And the caveat is we don't understand ourselves or value ourselves enough or in the necessary way. And that makes this learning of this wholeness and cooperating with others and being in relationship and difficult. Not understanding who we are makes this learning about wholeness and what our function is and working with others as others in the expansion of being able to recognize the blocks to the awareness of love's presence. We do this together, and when we don't do it together, it just makes learning difficult.
It does.
So read this last bit and we're done.
Okay, here we go. God has joined all his sons with himself. Can you be separated from your life and your being? The journey to God is merely the reawakening of the knowledge of where you are always and what you are forever. It is a journey without distance to a goal that has never changed.
You'll hear that a lot in Course in Miracles circles. A journey without distance and a goal that has never changed.
I can make you aware of the conditions of truth, but the experience is of God.
An experience and conditions. The conditions to make good decisions. Go ahead.
Free the holy will of all those who are as blessed as you are.
Yes, treasure as extension. Treasure as the will of your heart. There is no separation from life and our being. We can't pull our life and our being out of God, out of the sonship, out of the wholeness. There is no separation between us and the world. The awareness is the conditions of the truth. The awareness of the conditions of truth is how we experience the truth. Together we meet its conditions. Together we meet its conditions, not singularly. And the treasure is what is ours to do, and our way of joining with others and connecting and expanding the love of God. So love what is. Love is where our heart is. Love is where our home is. Home is where we can expand. Home is this together feeling that is that we give away without losing. And the request that she makes at the very end is to bless the world. Remember that from last week? Bless the world. And so we can free our will from other beings. So remember, I'm Reverend Glen Ganaway, and may your will be freed to create with others the world that you want to see.
Woo! All right, I'm going to play a song for you that we did in the clubs back when we were doing the club things. Oh, Cindy's here. Hey, Cindy! And this is a cover song, a Dolly Parton cover song. So I'm just going to let you experience it. Here we go. Back through the years I go wandering again, back to the memories of my youth. I recall a box of rags that someone gave us, how my mama put those rags to use. There were rags of many colors, and every piece was small. I didn't have a coat, and it was way down in the fall. So mama sewed those rags together, sewing every piece with love, and made a coat of many colors that I was so proud of. As she sewed, she told a story from the Bible she had read about a coat of many colors Joseph wore, and then she said, I hope this coat will bring you much love and happiness. And I just couldn't wait to wear it. Mama blessed it with a kiss. Oh, that coat of many colors that my mama made for me, made only with rags, but I wore it so proudly. Well, I know we had no money, but I was rich as I could be, in my coat of many colors that my mama made for me.
stitches on my breeches and holes in both my shoes. Coat of many colors, I traveled off to school where other kids were laughing and making fun of me in my coat of many colors that my mama made for me. Well, I didn't understand it, 'cause I thought that I was rich, and I told them of the love my mama sewed in every stitch. And I told them of the story mama told me when she sewed, and how my coat of many colors was worth more than all their clothes. But they didn't understand it, and I tried to make them see that one is only poor only if they choose to be. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I know we had no money, but I was rich as I could be in my coat of many colors my mama made for me. Well, I know we had no money, but I was rich as I could be in my coat of many colors my mama made for me. She made for me.
Oh, your Dolly Parton moment.
My Dolly Parton moment, yay! Okay, y'all, we love you.
I know.
Thanks for joining us. We're sticking around for something genuine.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you next Sunday.